Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video we will be discussing about a new drug that is basically recently has been approved by European Medicine Agency, and that drug is basically the Molnupiravir. Molnupiravir. And the brand name of this drug is basically the Lagvirio. Okay, that is basically only available in United Kingdom. And it is not a new drug. It is basically a drug that is synthesized or manufactured in 2014. And in 2014, it was basically approved for the treatment of the influenza virus. And it is a prodrug. It means that it is not parentally active. When it goes into the body, it is basically activated by the enzyme system of the body, basically, which are present in the liver and other body organs. And it basically blocks the replication of the SARS-CoV-2, this novel COVID-19. And it is only available in UK, not in the USA. And it is only used for the emergency use authorization. And we will be discussing about the mechanism of action, that how this molnupiravir is basically going to generally block the synthesis or replication of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So we all know that this is the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and these are the spike proteins, which are basically responsible for the entry of this SARS-CoV-2 into the lung tissues. And the spike protein of this SARS-CoV-2 basically uses the ACE2 enzyme. ACE2 enzyme, or we can say receptor, it is basically present in major body organs like lungs, kidney, and heart, and etc. So when this COVID-19 enters through this ACE2 enzyme or receptor, it basically enters into the cell. And the genomic material of this SARS-CoV-2 is basically the messenger RNA. The messenger RNA which is present in this SARS-CoV-2. And it is positive sense RNA. Okay. And this is the messenger RNA of the SARS-CoV-2. And when this messenger RNA is being released by this SARS-CoV-2 into the human tissues, it is acted by this enzyme that is called as RDRP. What is meant by this RDRP? Well, the abbreviation of this RDRP is RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. And what is the function? The function of this RDRP is that it basically converts this positive strand RNA into the negative sense RNA. And after this synthesis of this negative strand RNA, a new RNA is formed. And how molnupiravir is basically going to affect the synthesis of the newly formed messenger RNA. So we will be discussing. So this is the molnupiravir, and it is basically the analog of cytosine and uracil. And when it will be administered into the body, and ultimately it will go into the cell where the SARS-CoV-2 is present. It basically go, and when during the synthesis, when this RDRP start doing its function, and what is the function? It basically try to make the new or negative sense RNA. Okay, and what are the constituents of The newly formed negative strand RNA are basically the cytidine, nitrogen bases, which are responsible for the synthesis of the messenger RNA. Okay. When this molnupiravir will come into the cell, RDRP will take this molnupiravir drug, this fake moiety, and will make the new messenger RNA. And the newly formed messenger RNA that is basically formed by this molnupiravir will not be the actual messenger RNA that is basically naturally formed by this RDRP. So the newly formed messenger RNA that will be formed in this situation, that will be pseudo messenger RNA. And when this messenger RNA will replicate to again different type of the messenger RNAs, so their pathogenicity will be decreased because these newly formed messenger RNA will not be able to replicate again because the nitrogenous bases, the actual nitrogen bases are not present. So in this way, molnupiravir basically inhibits the replication of SARS-CoV-2, and the dose of the molnupiravir, which is basically used for SARS-CoV-2, is 400 to 800 mg, and the half-life is of this molnupiravir is 7 hours. So this is a little bit about the molnupiravir. So in the next video, we will be discussing about the pharmacology and other effects of the molnupiravir on the other body organs. Or we can say the pharmacological action of molnupiravir will be discussing in the next video. We'll see you again. Thank you very much.